The hand of Yahweh was upon me, and carried me out in the Ruach Yahweh, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of Adam, can these bones live? And I answered, O Adonai Yahweh, you know. Again he said unto me, Prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus says Adonai Yahweh unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live.
Hey, Yexer.
Signs of the times, take a look at all these blood moons. Nation against nation, Yashar'AL, we going home soon. Ice melts with fervent heat, elemental cold bars. Messiah coming back from sky, watching blow the shofar. My people waking up, returning to the Torah. America's Babylon, another Sodom and Gomorrah. Scattered to the four corners, African diaspora. 7 feast days, 7 branches on menorah. Yahuwah is Yahusha, manifested in flesh, and he shed his own blood and experienced death. You will never understand without the Ruach HaKodesh, and the dry bones awakening. Yahuwah gives breath. The dry bones awakening. Yashar'AL is awakening. Yahuwah, he is straightening, returning to Yahuwah so quickly we are hastening. The dry bones awakening. Yashar'AL is awakening. Yahuwah, he is straightening, returning to Yahuwah so quickly we are hastening. Yashar'AL will rise, we the people of Zion, and his judgment for the heathens from the tribe of the lion. And the grafted in is with us, cause their hearts have been ripened. Other nations will perish, cause of Torah defiance. Made no account of our labors, they were lawless and pious. And instead of Yahuwah gave you religion and science. And no mention of Yahusha, they just forced your compliance. The oppressor still prospers while we suffer in silence. What's one way to destroy a black king or a queen? Push abortion, LGBT, tell them take the vaccine. Black culture in America only feeding the evil. Dry bones awakening, Yahuwah still loves his people. The dry bones awakening. Yashar'AL is awakening. Yahuwah, he is straightening, returning to Yahuwah so quickly we are hastening. The dry bones awakening. Yashar'AL is awakening. Yahuwah, he is straightening, returning to Yahuwah so quickly we are hastening. The dry bones awakening. Yashar'AL is awakening. Yahuwah, he is straightening, returning to Yahuwah so quickly we are hastening. The dry bones awakening. Yashar'AL is awakening. The dry bones awakening. Yashar'AL is awakening.
And ye shall know that I am Yahweh.
And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Ay, bolder than a lion, bolder than a lion. I ain't bowing down to Baal, cause we bolder than some lions. Keeping the commandments that'll lead us back to Zion. I ain't bowing down to Baal, cause I'm bolder than a lion. I don't care if you offended, yeah, I said what I intended. I said it and I meant it, scripture cannot be amended. Don't care if I'm unfriended, yeah, I mean it and admit it. Doesn't matter really how you feel, the Bible will transcend it. The truth is unexpended and the truth should be commended. You ain't walking in the truth, the thing you choose to be demented. Yeah, following Yahuwah's not religion, it's decision. And we keeping the commandments, they not prone to abolition. Because we did not bow to Rome and give them our submission. Man, they killed so many Hebrews in the Roman Inquisition. Following the Torah is not religion, it's decision. And Yahusha kept the law, cause it's not prone to abolition. Bolder than a lion, bolder than a lion. I ain't bowing down to Baal, cause we bolder than some lions. Keeping the commandments that'll lead us back to Zion. I ain't bowing down to Baal, cause I'm bolder than a lion. Ay, bolder than a lion, bolder bolder than a lion. I ain't bowing down to Baal, cause we bolder than some lions. Keeping the commandments that'll lead us back to Zion. I ain't bowing down to Baal, cause I'm bolder than a lion. Yeah.
Chapter 28. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
Yeah. Ay. Yeah. Ay.
Be cheesy.
Ay. Talking to the devil, yeah, you talking to the devil. Ay. Showing off your money, boy, it doesn't make you special. Ay. Talking to the devil, why you talking to the devil? Ay. I believe in God, no mask, I am a rebel. Talking to the devil, now you grinding on the devil. Yeah, little Nas X, boy, you just a fruity pebble. Skittles. Talking to the devil, yeah, you talking to the devil. Burn all your idols, stop talking to the devil. Talking to the devil, hell is hotter than a kettle. I headed towards Bethel with my foot up on the pedal. Yeah, even though you black, you don't have to be so ghetto. Satan pulling strings like that fellow named Geppetto. Back against the wall, bounce back like an echo. Haters playing games, but you not on my level. You playing with my God, boy, you better be careful. The world is against me, but I still remain prayerful. Talking to the devil, yeah, you talking to the devil. Ay, showing off your money, boy, it doesn't make you special. Ay, talking to the devil, why you talking to the devil? Ay, I believe in God, no mask, I am a rebel. Talking to the devil, now you grinding on the devil. Yeah, little Nas X, boy, you just a fruity pebble. Skittles. Talking to the devil, yeah, you talking to the devil. Burn all your idols, stop talking to the devil. Devil, I rebuke you. Aye. Devil, I rebuke you. Aye. Had to stop doing all the things that I used to. Demons call my name, but devil, I refuse you. Jesus set me free, now I'm feeling like the new dude. Bible is the truth, God's word is what I'm glued to. Wasn't always easy and I had to pay my dues to. Devil like a lion and he looking to pursue you. If you love this world, then the devil has seduced you. Talking to the devil, yeah, you talking to the devil. Ay, showing off your money, boy, it doesn't make you special. Ay, talking to the devil, why you talking to the devil? Ay, I believe in God, no mask, I am a rebel. Talking to the devil, now you grinding on the devil. Yeah, little Nas X, boy, you just a fruity pebble. Skittles. Talking to the devil, yeah, you talking to the devil. Burn all your idols, stop talking to the devil.
They still lying on my name. Let's get it.
There is a man by the name of Yashar'AL. He's an Hebrew Israelite rapper that's been getting a lot of attention in the community.
Hey, Yasher.
I address these lying Negroes and I'ma do it again. And you gossip like a woman, we don't do that as men. Yeah, I see you Negroes fake like Snape type Negroes, lying on my name, fruitcake type Negroes. I ain't saying names cause I'm not making you famous. And you know who you are and you will remain nameless. And the things that you saying, they are really salacious. And you bearing false witness, telling lies that's fallacious. Even in this song, to your ooh all praises. But I'm about to clear the air cause your claims are just baseless. Use my name just for clout, just to get some subscribers. Go slither on your stomach, you a snake, you a viper.
It's a shame that it must come to this, my brother, Yashar'AL, you are exposed. You don't want to sit down with us because, brother, you are false.
Called by your ooh, you just bitter and jealous. Just like Saul's envy of David as his hatred developed. And you all in your feelings, you an emotional wreck. Jezebel spirit on you, getting in control and in check. Yeah, many y'all call, very small number chosen. There's a public rebuke from the lies you have spoken. And you claim you exposing, I'm unbothered, I'm broken. You fake, you a snake, I'm fazed by your commotion. There's no need to expose you, I won't stoop to your level. Keep my name out your mouth, you just a troop of the devil. And your ooh hates discord, so you need to be careful. Never wish evil on you, but went to your ooh so prayerful.
Yeah, I said it, man. I did say it. You heard it right from my mouth. Right.
Shalom, 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 shalom. All esteem to the highest, Yahuwah. I hope you guys are well, giving all praise and honor and esteem to the highest Yahuwah, Yahusha. Shalom, family. Good to see y'all. Welcome back. We're doing a quick video. Shouldn't be too long because I actually have for the Patreon people, we have a stream we're going to be doing at 2 o'clock. It's 11 now, so we're going to try to get through this. So the title of this lesson is The Nations Will Suffer. Oh, it's written. It is written. And today I'm going to be showing you guys some things that prove why this is going to happen. Now, aside from what we already know, aside from what the scriptures say, all of these things that have happened to Yashar'AL, there will be a recompense for. Now, how many of you have heard of the word a Pyrrhic victory? Give me a 1 if you've ever heard of that before. Give me a 2 if you've never heard of that, because it has a lot of truth to what we're about to get into today. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to Lele, Kathy, Yummy, Amiya Yakiyada. Let's see. Yahudi Blue. Shout out to you, sis. Let me see. I'll make sure I'm not missing out my moderators here. Yeah, I got everybody. All praises to the Most High. Yada Yahuwah. Okay. So Kathy's never heard of that. Okay. Okay, so a lot of you guys have not heard of that term, a Pyrrhic victory. So a Pyrrhic victory is when you have won the battle, but you have lost the war. X Carbon Black, Shalom Aki, good to see you. So they think that they've won because they got their Edomite man in office, their Edomite ruler, Trump. So they think they've won the battle by Luciferian selection, right? But the war has not been won because they're fighting against the Eloah, and he always wins. He always gets the victory. And I was doing some thinking yesterday, and I'm just like, you know what? The Most High has an established record of freeing the so-called slaves. And I'm talking about his people. I'm talking about who they call the slaves. He has an established record of setting his people free every time, whether it was Babylonian, whether it was Medo-Persian, whether it was Maccabean, Egyptian, Assyrian. The Most High has a way of setting his people free. That's there's record of that from our forefathers that wrote about this. So I think the Gentiles need to understand that the only way really to be spared of the wrath is to cleave and accept Yahushua. So I'm going to show you guys some stuff here. But first, before I do, I want to share this video with you guys because this popped up. Shout out to one of our daughters of Zion. And I want to shout out everybody that sends me stuff. I may not always get to it right away, but I appreciate those who do send me stuff because I think that, you know, these are very important things our people are coming across and they're sharing it with me. So shout out to everybody who does send me stuff. I just get sent a lot of stuff, y'all. So sometimes I may not get to it right away. You feel what I'm saying? But I appreciate you guys sending me stuff, sharing stuff with me because I feel like, you know, we're on these platforms, there's a lot of information that we may come across. And it's important that we know about it. So let me share this first video with you guys. And I think that this white man, I think he perfectly described why these people are what you call MAGA, the MAGA maggots. So let me show you this first, and then we'll look at some other stuff. Let me just load it up. Give me a second. Okay. So check out this video, y'all. I think that this video is very, very telling in more ways than I could even say. So let me pull this up here. Okay. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Really helps the channel out. Thank you in advance for doing so. All right, check this out, family.
I want to know how it is you voted for Donald Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If you were to deport all illegal immigrants, if you were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession of America?
Because I want my people to survive. Is that so strange? We don't control China. We don't control any place where whites are not a majority. And if we become a minority, we will not control our own destiny anymore.
I grew up in this country as a minority, as the children of immigrants. I was their first child born in America. And while I didn't have much possession or didn't much control, I really enjoyed myself. And I think that if you ask a lot of Americans, they would say that I had a lot to offer this country. You know, according to you, I guess I would be perpetuating the dispossession of white America.
That is true. That is true.
Would you say that you wouldn't want me in this country?
At some point, when my ancestors built this nation, they did not build it with the intention of giving it away to Mexicans or Chinese or Haitians or to anyone else.
Do you consider, you keep saying your ancestors built this country, you consider that a fact?
Who else built it?
Black people, Native Americans, Chinese people who came and built the railroads.
Do you think none of that could have been
Italian people?
But they're Europeans, aren't they?
Okay, and that's their mindset. We built this nation, but we know that's not true. I think that this man was brutally honest about their intentions and brutally honest about why it's such an important thing for, you know, the MAGA, the Mandarin MAGA man to be in office. They want someone who can assure their delusion that, one, they're not dying out as a race, which is true. We know that that's a fact. In their minds, They see this man as the way in which they are able to slow the things that's coming up on them. But they can't, because they don't realize that this is all by the divine hand of the Most High. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what they're not. That's the problem, is that when you're a Christian and you're, you know, a believer in JC and God, you don't understand who Yahuwah is, because you've already replaced him with something else. They serve a God that does not believe in righteousness, does not believe in judgment, does not believe in recompense, because they refuse to read what our forefathers said. So let me show y'all this real quick. Now, fortunately, there is a lot of information we have because of the internet and so on and so forth. So this right here is the New Jersey slave records. And we're going to just look at some of this information because boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, by putting this on record, I mean, I'm just saying, it ain't like we can't prove this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we can't prove what was done. We're going to look at some of these. And I also have some of these slave letters. So letters from former slaves. And we're going to read some of that too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this stuff, I think, is just kind of overlooked, and it's not like we don't have this information. So I'm going to show you this first slave record. This is Aaron Gulick. It says this white person has 3 related events in the database listed at the bottom of this page. And you'll notice when you go to these resources, you're going to find that a lot of these people are connected in many different ways. I mean, they're descendants of slave owners. They are, you know, the son of a slave owner that inherited slaves. I mean, it's deep. So let's read about this Aaron Gulick guy. So Aaron Gulick is a white male. Biographical description. Aaron Gulick was a resident of Middlesex County, New Jersey. He served as the justice of the peace for the county in the early 19th century. In his official capacity, he issued a manumission certificate for residents of South Brunswick whose enslavers agreed to set them free. Interesting. Okay, so there's not much information here. Okay, let's look at this next one. All right. Now, this one right here is I believe that this is actually a slave letter. And you can see, now what's interesting about this, y'all, is our people were not allowed to read, to write, to do any of that. And many of them, at great risk of their own being, decided to write these letters and learn to read and write because they had some things that they had to say. They had some thoughts that they had to share. So we're going to look at this letter here, and we're going to read it. So let me go back. We can read the English. Okay, here we go. So let me go back over here. Okay, so let's read this. It says, zoom in. Okay. So it says, Voyage 1 by Captain William Ellery on behalf of Timothy Fitch. And I'm assuming Timothy Fitch would be that slave. It says, this was written in January 14, 1759. In the snow Caesar whereof Marmaduke Masterman is a master being fully loaded on equipped for the sea. His orders are for me to follow your directions in every particular and deliver you and cargo being co-signed you. Okay, so actually this is not a slave letter. This is a letter to a captain talking about the so-called cargo, which are human beings. All right, let's just be honest about that. And the cargo being co-signed by you. My orders are to you that you embrace the first favorable opportunity of wind and weather and proceed to the coast of Africa, touching first, if you think, proper at Senegal, where if you find encouragement, you may part with such part of your cargo as you can sail to your liking. Otherwise, I hope you won't tarry 12 hours and then proceed down the coast to such ports or places as you judge best to dispose of your cargo to advantage, so as to purchase a cargo of slaves with which you are to proceed to South Carolinas, unless a peace should happen or a good opportunity of coming off with a man of war or some vessel of force for you West Indies. In that case, I would recommend the island of St. Christopher's being handy to St. Eustatia for the sale of your slaves. Wherefore you may sell your slaves, whether in the West Indies or South Carolinas. You may load your vessel with the produce of the place such as you are acquainted with. The value, which may be of some help to you, to sell your slaves, and for the remainder take not but undoubted bills of exchange. Otherwise, cash. Give the reference to the cash if a piece of good convoy home at Sirleon, the place where I suppose you will make your trade. You will, I hope to meet with Captain Walter Rond and the schooner Bacchus and Captain Elias Ellery. Bro, this right here, this is an Amalekite being mentioned. Okay, so the captain was an Amalekite. Okay, this is a Yiddish heathen Hebrew name right here. Elias with the E. Okay, that is heathen Hebrew. All right, this is Amalekite that was the captain. Okay, just keep that in mind. And I've already talked about how involved they were with the slave trade along with the Anglo-Saxon Christian Europeans. But yeah. In the sloop Peggy, who both orders from me part with their vessel and cargoes and ship their effects on board you, if you've not sold their vessel and cargoes before your arrival, you are aid and assist them in doing it, and in every respect make it a joint interest, as the whole is upon my account. And take on board your snow and masters and seamen, which will strengthen you, as you have suitable cargo for the coast, and the best that could be procured here, according to your own memorandum, and part of its bespoke in boats for the trade, which advantage of the sloop Captain Elias Ellery. There's the name again. All this, I hope, will command dispatch, as nothing else can help the voyage, as you are sensible. You sell a great experience, to say the least. Okay. So I'm not going to read all of this, but basically, this is a man giving commission for this captain to dispose of, so-called dispose of these Negroes in the South Carolinas of America, to go over to Africa, Negro land, and take these Negroes and go sell them in South Carolina, the South Carolinas, okay? Now we're going to look at something else here. Look at this. Bridgetown, Barbados, list of enslaved black people on auction, okay? Now, keep in mind, Barbadians, Caribbeans, all of them is Yahudim. All of them are, okay? So you want to talk about Rihanna? Well, Rihanna is a Yahudi. Barbados, those are Yahudim, y'all, all right? So this is a list of enslaved people on the auction. And of course, you know, you can look at the images and you can see, you know, a boy, all right, a girl, a woman, a girl, a boy, all these Negroes that they kept record of, which is why we have the slave trade database, and we can see the names of these people, how old these Negroes were, and so on and so forth. So we're going to read this. So here is a better, more, you know, like an English modern version, so you can understand, you know, what was going on here. So it says, Bridgetown, Barbados, August 21st, 1759, an account of what slaves was sold at public Vandeway belonging to Mr. Timothy Fitch, Marsh in Boston, New England, Tuesday, August 21st, 1759. So one boy, okay, one girl, a woman, a girl, a boy, and I'm not sure what DO represents, but you can see this is how much money that they made total from these slaves. Now, I'm not sure this currency, how this I'm assuming this is $310 they made, 200, 500, 100. This is I'm assuming that this is, you know, the currency that they had at the time. But I wouldn't know how these numbers would figure to how much they actually paid. I'm not sure if this is accurate according to our understanding of, you know, money now. So I don't know how this currency would actually be deciphered or picked apart. But there was a price on every single one of these men, women, and children. And you can see they took boys, they took girls, they took men, they took women. They did not care. They just saw the Negroes, and to them, all they saw was dollar signs. Okay. Now I'm going to show y'all some more stuff here. some of this other information. All right, so this is another. This is an invoice of sundry merchandise ship. Okay, so like I said, they kept record of all the slaves that they had, and these are the writings, and you can see they kept record of it. These are things I think you need to push back against when they're telling you it doesn't matter and all this other stuff, and what the evils that were done, shouldn't be talked about. But they put the information out there, okay, because of their pride. All right, their pride. Show them these receipts. Show them, okay, wait a minute. So you think the Most High ain't see this? You think you don't have to answer for this? I'm just saying. So let's look at this. All right, so this is typed up to show you the sale, the returns, and all these other things, okay? So obviously, our people worked in tobacco plantations, and you see the word tobacco here because, this is like Old English, so they pronounce things a little differently than they do now. But essentially, this was about the slaves, okay, and their functions to work on these plantations, be it the sugarcane fields, tobacco fields, and so on and so forth, in these different plantations and stuff like that. And this is also inventory for everything that they would need to go and grab the Negroes from Africa. Okay, that's why it says right here, fish, cheeses. Okay, so they had food along the way to go get the Negroes. Okay, and you'll also notice when you read this, it talks about oars to steer the boats. Okay, so they have many different ways in which that they kept inventory of what they're going to need to enslave the Negroes and what the Negroes' function is going to be once they pick them up. Okay, all of these things were already decided. Okay, here's another one, another slave record. Okay, Mr. Timothy Fitch for account curs with Peter Gwynn. Okay, to amount of 156 holds sugars of 5 bales cotton plantation. So cotton plantation right here. This is an invoice. So it's talking about the value of the Negro in regards to these plantations and the plans that they would make as far as how much money they would make, how much they would need, so on and so forth. Okay, to charge one of the Negroes for collection. Now, a lot of times Negroes were also used as collateral. So let's say that maybe you owed somebody money, right? A lot of times they would see the Negro as a way in which to conduct business if there was a debt owed. So if you owed somebody money, a lot of times if you had Negroes on standby, you had to exchange those Negroes to do the work that you owe that person. Negroes at one point, believe it or not, were a form of currency. It was a barter system. You owe money? Okay, give me that Negro. Oh, you owe money? Give me that Negro woman. I'm going to take her for my own personal pleasure. So a lot of times Negroes were bartered when there was a debt that was to be paid amongst slave owners. Now we're going to look at some of these slave letters. This one is from 1859, and let's read this. A letter from a slave to his mother. Okay, so this is the Negro that wrote this. And again, we weren't supposed to be reading and writing. So this Negro wrote this to his mother against his own well-being, as I said, because if they caught you reading and writing, that's an automatic tree hanging. So let's look at this. The author refers twice to having a master. There is a young lady here that I am very much taken with, and I think that my master will buy her and take her out with us. I went to Mrs. Bailey expecting to meet my old master, as he said he would be there. We really wanted to try to track this down, so we started by compiling a list of names and places mentioned in the letter. Okay, so Widow Bailey in Virginia, R.W. Smith, Alabama, Alexandria, Virginia, where the letter was written. Then you have the mother, who is the subject of the letter, and then you have the Negro author who wrote this letter. So it reads, the 1860 census indicates that a Robert W. Smith had a plantation with 74 slaves in Portland, Alabama. Genealogical records show that he had a brother, Francis Lee Smith, who lived in Alexandria, Virginia. Perhaps Robert Smith was visiting his brother and purchasing slaves for his plantation, or had asked his brother to purchase slaves for him. We couldn't track down Mrs. Bailey, but there are a lot of Baileys in Fauquier, too many for us to pin down her identity. All right? Another tantalizing clue, a note in the province file for this document indicates that the letter was once in the papers of Colonel John A. Washington, George Washington's great nephew, who inherited Washington's home at Mount Vernon near Alexandria and Waveland in Fauquier County. He sold Mount Vernon and 200 acres of property to the Mount Vernon Ladies Association in 1858 and 1859, but retained ownership of other Washington family property near Mount Vernon. Did the sender of the letter write it himself? Would his mother have been able to read it herself? Educating slaves was illegal in Virginia and Alabama. Were they secretly taught to read and write? Were they highly trained and educated because of their duties? Or did someone write the letter for the author and would somehow read it to his mother? Was the author owned by John A. Washington III? John Washington was hiring out slaves in 1859. Perhaps Robert Smith was only a temporary master. So let's look at this, all right? This is from the slave to his mother, who, again, was probably on a separate plantation. I mean, if you can't tell her directly, she obviously was separated from him when they sold us, all right? So let's look at this. My dear mother, I take this opportunity of writing to you to let you know that I'm still in Alexandria. I expect to start about next Tuesday. There is a young lady here that I'm very much taken with, and I think that my master will buy her and take her out with us. Since I was in Rappahannock, I have been in Fauquier at the Window Baileys and have seen all my friends. I do not think I can leave Virginia without carrying out a Virginia wife with me. I went to Mrs. Bailey's expecting to meet my old master, as he said he would be there. Mrs. Bailey met me at the lock gate and was wondering who I was until I got up to her when she knew me. I expected to come back to see you all again, but as I did bid you all goodbye, I thought I would not. My dear mother, this is all I can think of at the present. If I succeed in my undertakings, I will send you all the good news when I get home. We have bought all our servants. Direct your letters to Portland, Alabama, in care of Mr. R.W. Smith. So this Negro wrote this letter to his mother just to tell her there's a possibility he might get married. But see, it wasn't in a sense where I could just call my mom and be like, hey, we tied the knot. Hey, we doing that thing. Hey, you about to be a grandmother. It ain't like that. He had to risk his life just to write to his mother on a separate plantation that he found a beautiful black woman that he wanted to marry and take for a wife. That's insane. That is wild. Even when I think about like our people in the scriptures and how a lot of times they went to, the family to let them know, hey, I want to, take her for a wife and all of these different things. It was always a beautiful thing when a man came to the woman's family and told the family, I want to take her for a wife. Just as exciting as it would be for a mother to find out that her son is choosing to marry and start and continue the next generation. And even in what he was dealing with and just the oppression I'm sure he was up against, he still came to his mother in a sense of expectancy. There was still a hint of optimism in that letter. I mean, I don't think he needed to talk about what he was going through. I don't think he needed to talk about what he was dealing with at the hands of these enslavers, because considering the fact his mother was already on another plantation, it will make sense that there was no need to discuss what he was going through. There was no need to at all go through that at all, because I mean, what good would that do? It's not like she doesn't know. You feel what I'm saying? So let me show y'all this next thing here. And like I said, this website, they have a lot of these these records and stuff that you can go look up on, you know, all over these different sources on YouTube. So let me show you this next one. Okay. So this is another slave letter. These are our people here. You know, you can see. So let's look at this. All right. Let me pull this up. Okay. So this says horrific letters to slave owner R.C. Bellard regarding abuse of the female slave. Oh boy. All right, daughters of Zion, this is a warning. Some of this might be hard to listen to. All right, I'm just gonna let you know ahead of time. Enslaved men endured many forms of abuse at the hand of their masters and overseers, including whippings and beatings. Women slaves, too, felt the pain of the lash as well as other forms of mistreatment. Many women were also, this word, abused, whether by being harassed, handed bags of grapes, or forced into concubinage, okay? The attached letters address two different forms of abuse. They are both addressed to Rice Carter Ballard, a slave trader and a planter. Ballard was involved in the interstate slave trade in the 1820s and 1830s, and by the early 1840s, he was purchasing and managing plantations in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. He co-owned some of these with Judge Samuel Boyd. The first letter, J.M. Duffield to Colonel R.C. Ballard, is from a man who tries to convince Ballard to let him buy an enslaved girl named Maria. Maria is being terribly abused by Judge Boyd, and Duffield wants to buy her so he can free her. All these cruelties have been inflicted upon the feeble frame of that girl and are frequently inflicted. She must die under them. It is possible that Duffield has fathered a child with Maria, for at the beginning of the letter, he talks of the arrangements he has made for the little girl. Oh, Father, help us. Oh, boy. The second letter from Virginia Boyd to R.C. Ballard is from a pregnant slave who has been Judge Boyd's concubine. Oh, gosh. Oh, boy. Virginia writes to Ballard from a slave trading post in Texas where she is apparently being sent by Boyd. She asks Ballard to intervene and keep her from being sold. Do you think after all that has transpired between me and the old man I don't call names that is treating me well to send me off among strangers in my situation pregnant to be sold? They didn't care. They did not care. They'll sell pregnant women because some of them got a fetish. You know what I'm saying? For black women being pregnant by other colonizers, other owners. They, you know, something about that just gets them off. You know what I'm saying? Something about a black woman that has been handed a bag of grape by one of these individuals and then him shooting his caveman seed in her. You know what I'm saying? And then being all like, well, she's carrying my baby. That was a selling point, y'all. That was a selling point. Let's keep reading. Apparently, Ballard did not help Virginia. He received a letter on August 8th from slave trader C. and read the first day that Virginia and one of her children had been sold. Okay, so let's read this letter here, and we'll look deeper at it. Okay, so it says, let's start. J.M. Duffield to Colonel R.C. Ballard, May 29th, 1848. I desired in the first place to apprise you that I have made arrangements to send the child northward, there to be brought up and educated, and there forever to reside. I have made all my arrangements for her. Now, I want you to look at this. It says child, y'all. This is a child he did this to. A child carrying a child. Sorry, y'all. I might take pauses from time to time because this stuff is just, I don't even know a word to describe it. I don't think there is a word to describe it. Evil is such an understatement. Okay. I have made all my arrangements for her, and she will start on the 6th of July. I shall be in Natchez when she goes. The next was to endeavor to do something for Maria. Her health seems to be sinking, and she has been a sufferer of great agony, mentally and bodily. You will recollect the cruelties which you described to me once in the confidence that have been perpetrated by a certain person in whose power Maria and I recollect the horror you expressed of it. All these cruelties have been inflicted upon the feeble frame of that girl and are frequently inflicted. She must die under them. Long ago, I would have freed her from them if I had been able to do so. Will you not, Colonel, let me have her? She is sickly, suffering, and will die soon if she remains where she is. I buy her only to free her. Lashed as she is like an ox until the blood gushes from her, I know you're kind. Humane heart must revolt at the barbaries she is constantly enduring. I would do anything on earth to relieve her from her present position. Only listen to the dictates of your own kindly nature. Kindly? What are you talking about? These people are not kind. Are you kidding me? And you will grant the request which I make as a matter of favor to me and goodness to her, and as another memorial of your generosity. Virginia Boyd to R.C. Ballard, May 6, 1853, Houston, Texas. To Warrenton, I am present in the city of Houston in a Negro trader's yard for sale by your orders. I was present at the post office when Dr. Ewing took your letter out through mistake and read it out loud, not knowing I was the person the letter alluded to. I hope that if I have ever done or said anything that has offended you, that you will forgive me, for I have suffered enough. Since in mind to repay all that I have ever done to anyone, you wrote for them to sell me in 30 days. So you think after all that has transpired between me and the old man, now this is the woman, okay? This is the woman speaking, okay? So let me just back it up a little bit here. For I've suffered enough since in mind to repay all that I've ever done. To anyone, you wrote them to sell me in 30 days. Do you think after all that has transpired between me and the old man, I don't call names, that is treating me well to send me off among strangers in my situation to be sold without even having any opportunity of choosing for myself? It's hard indeed, and what is still harder for the father of my children to sell his own offspring. Yes, his own flesh and all. Father, help us. Family, this stuff is hard to read. It really is. It really, really is, bro. It really, really is. Thank you, Yahudi Blue. Natchez is in modern Mississippi. Yeah, because I understand that, names got changed and stuff like that. I mean, like, for example, Jamestown, right? That was where many of the slave ships landed to take the Yahudim into slavery, but it's no longer called that anymore. So there are some older names, but thank you for that that notation, sis. Sundown towns in Mississippi, among others. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you, sisters, for the clarity. Okay, so let's keep going, but to take my time when I read these, bro, because this stuff is just heartbreaking. It's hard indeed, and what is still harder for the father of my children to sell his own offspring. Yes, his own flesh and blood. My God, is it possible that any freeborn American would brand his character with such a stigma as that? But I hope before this, he will relent and see his error. For I have believed that he is possessed of more honor than that. I know too that you have influence and can assist me in some measure from out of this dilemma. And if you will, God will be sure to reward you. You have a family of children and know how to sympathize with others in distress. Is it possible that such a change could come over the spirit of any living man as to sell his child that is his image? I don't wish to return to or harass or protest his peace of mind and shall never try to. Get back if I'm dealt with fairly. I have written to the old man in such a way that the letter can't fail to fall in his hands and none others. I use every precaution to prevent others from knowing or suspecting anything. I have my letters written and folded and put into envelopes and get it directly by those who don't know the contents of it. For I shall not seek ever to let anything be exposed unless I'm forced from bad treatments. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So it's very, very sobering, reading this letter from this Black woman. And even so, she said he has honor. Even after all he did to her, you know what I'm saying? She still has a sense of, she said she still defends him into a sense of honor. Well, he still has a sense of honor, even though at the same time she's talking about these atrocities that have been done to her. So now this man has taken her. He has violated her. He has put a child inside of her. And because all he sees is money, he wants to sell her and that child that's half white, half Negro. Oh, boy. Okay. All right, family. I'm going to show you guys some more stuff and we're going to get to the scriptures. I got some scriptures that I also want to share with you guys here in a second. So we're going to look at some more of this here. There's a few more I want to show you before we continue on. But like I said, if you go online and you look up slave letters, you are able to find a lot of these records from our ancestors. All right. Now, this is another one I want to share with you. It says, a powerful letter. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. Okay. All right, there we go. A powerful letter from my great-great-grandfather who escaped slavery in 1855. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just go straight to the letter. Here is the letter unedited and in full. Okay, I want to see the full thing, y'all. I don't want no, edited letter. I want the full context. Okay, so I guess this is something I got to join in order to read the letter. Okay, never mind. Let's just go back. All right, so this is what it says. Boston, Massachusetts, February 15th, 1855. My dear friend, allow me to take the liberty of addressing you at the same time appearing troublesome, you all friend. But subject is not so important that I cannot ask, not in my name, but in the name of the LORD and humanity, to do something for my poor wife and children who lays in Norfolk jail and have been there for 3 months. I would open myself in that frank and honest manner, which should convince you of my sincerity of purpose. Don't shut your ears to the cries of the widow and the orphan. And I can but ask in the name of humanity and God, for he knows the heart of all men. Please ask the friend's humanity to do something for her and her 2 little ones. I can't do anything. Place as I am, for I have to lay low. Please lay this before the churches of Philadelphia. Beg them in the name of the LORD to do something for him. I love my freedom, and if it would do her and her 2 children any good, I meant to change with her, but I can't be done, for she is in jail, and you must know she shall suffer, for the jail in the South are not like yours, for anything is good enough for Negroes. The slave hunter says, and may God interpose in behalf of the diminutive race of Africa, whom I claim descent. So when I hear Negroes talking about we was already here and we weren't brought from Africa, here we have a full-on Negro, okay, saying and claiming African descent. All right, so miss me with this Native American Israelite stuff. It's foolishness. And, we were talking in Discord about this video that Ben Israel dropped. And you know what? I didn't even watch it, bro. How you got all these videos about Africa and the culture of Africa and how, we Israelites and all this other Bantu Israelites and all this, and then you make a video talking about some dang Native American Israelites. I'm just a little confused. So anyway, let's go back to this. Of the diminutive race of Africa, whom I claim descent, I'm sorry to say that friendship is only a name here, but I trust it is not so in Philadelphia. I would not have taken this liberty had I not considered you a friend. For you treaty as such, please do call And please ask the anti-slavery friends to do all they can, and GOD will reward them for it. I am sure for the earth is the LORDs and the fullness thereof, as this note leaves me not very well, but hope when it comes to hand, it may find you and family enjoying all the pleasure, life. Please answer this and pardon me if the unnecessary sum can be required. I will find out from my brother-in-law. I am with respectful consideration. Okay. So this is a Negro that is petitioning to the people in Norfolk to free his children and his wife because they have been incarcerated. Now, he fled the plantation, okay? He was free. But as the scriptures succinctly say, that your sons and daughters shall be taken and given to another people, and you shall have no power, right? So him fleeing the plantation, it seems to be implied here that because he fled and they could not find him, they decided to throw his wife and his children in jail. And he is saying, set them free. This is unjust. My wife and my children should not have to suffer. And it's sad because he got away. But now he has to worry about the well-being of his children. And I'm gonna say this, bro. It is very likely when you look at these runaway slaves. A lot of times, this particular circumstance is a little different. But a lot of times when people fled the plantations or attempted to flee the plantations, it was to find their family. It was to scout out and find out where their family was. Because remember, there were separations of families. So it wasn't always just to get away. You know what I mean? It was to get away and find our people. That's really what it was about. Every now and then there was a slave that might have fled prior to that. But this situation is a little different. So let me show y'all this next thing. It's another letter. It says, a letter from Thomas Brown, an enslaved man in St. Louis University, 1833. Letter from Thomas Brown. Subject, slave correspondence, slave self-purchase, slavery living conditions, Jesuit mentions 19th century. Jesuits. Just keep that in mind. Is this the whole letter? I want to make sure. Okay, yeah. All right, this is just the detail. It says, a letter from Thomas Brown, a slave at St. Louis University, complaining of the mistreatment of himself and his wife, Molly, in 1833. He offers to purchase their freedom for $100, which is as much as our old bones are worth. Okay? So another Negro trying to get his family freed, purchase their freedom. Let's look at this. So the humble address of Thomas Brown, a man of color, most submissively shows that he and his wife are very poorly treated by Reverend Father Verheegen, president of the University of St. Louis. Who is my present master? I have been a faithful servant in society going on 38 years, and my wife Molly has been born and raised in the society. She is now about 52 years of age. Now we have not a place to lay our heads in our old age after all our service. We live at present in rotten log house, so old and decayed that at the very blast of wind, we are afraid of our lives, or we are afraid for our lives, and as such as it belongs to one of the neighbors. All the rest of the slaves are pretty well fixed with Father Verheegen wants me and my wife to live in the loft of one of the outhouses where there is no fireplace nor any way to warm us during the winter. And your reverend knows it is cold enough here. I have no doubt, but cold will kill both me and my wife here. To prevent the evil, I am willing to buy myself and wife free. If you accept of $100, $50 I can pay down in cash, the rest as soon as I possibly can. Reverend Father, consider this as much as I can raise and as much as our own bones are worth. Have pity on us. Let us go free. $100 or else we will surely perish with the cold. Oh, Reverend, hear my petition. Be pleased to take my case into consideration, and I will pray for you while I live. I impatiently remain, I'm not sure what this is, reverence's most humble and obedient servant. Okay, so this is a Negro petitioning to his slave master, let me buy my freedom and my wife's freedom. I got money. I'm not asking for you to just free me. I'm asking, can I give you money and you let me go? And my wife, we gonna die out here. The conditions y'all have us in, we will die. And we don't even know if they actually granted it. And I'm sure that they didn't, because they would make way more money by keeping us on the plantation. And this is actually a visual of how it looked when he wrote it, the Negro that wrote this. You can see this is actually a letter. Yeah. So this website right here is called Slavery Archive, slaveryarchive.georgetown.edu. And like I said, a lot of these colleges, universities, they have a lot of these records. You know what I mean? So if you go to look them up, you're probably most likely going to find, you know, some EDU institution that has these letters. And they preserved them for a long time. Even when you think about like Negro land and stuff like that, a lot of that information has been provided, you know, to these colleges and universities and stuff like that. So when people say that this is not true and Negro land is not where we were brought from and all this other stuff, you need to explain why the colleges preserved this information for so long. All right, I'm going to show y'all some more here. So this is another one of another slave and his experiences on the plantation and his buck breaking. Davy threatened with sale in 1818. Subjects, slaves, slavery punishment, slavery conditioning, jails, Catholic Church. Okay, you see this? Look at this, family. Now, on this website, from the letters that I have looked at and read over myself, the Jesuits and the Roman Catholic Church are behind a lot of these grievances these Negroes are writing about, which is, I mean, it's to be expected. I mean, they were Christians. You had Amalek, the Jews, and you had the Anglo-Saxon pagan Romans, descendants of the Romans and the religion of the Romans that were involved with this. You know, and we go back and look at these names, you'll start to notice, like I said, there's bloodlines, there's families that inherited slaves from their, you know, their previous, relatives. Just got passed down, passed down, passed down. Okay, so it says the description. Davy, a slave at White Marsh, was put in jail for bad conduct and sent to Baltimore to be sold, but then was returned to White Marsh after promising to behave himself. So they even use selling you as another form of buck breaking in order to get you to behave. Okay, so this is not a long letter, but let's read it. Make sure this is up. Okay, so this reads, had one of our Negroes from the Marsh confined in jail for his bad conduct, where he is to remain until sold. This day delivered Davy from jail and sent them to Mr. Turn in Balter, who intends to purchase him. The Negro man, who is Davy, who we confine in the prison at Washington, has returned to White Marsh, and he makes many promises of amendment. I was offered $500 for him frequently. Okay, and that's pretty much the whole thing here for this letter. And it shows you also on the map where this would have been located. So we also have this as a resource to where these things took place, because like I said, they obviously, you know, changed names and other things like that. So it just kind of helps you understand where these locations were, what was going on, where it all went down. Okay. All right. So let's go back. Let's look at some more of these before we get to the scriptures. I just want to show you proof as to why the nations will suffer before we get to the scriptures. All right. So they have, on this website specifically, they have over 200 letters. Some of them are from the slave masters to other slaves commissioning the sale of Negroes. Some of it is Negroes to their masters. It's many, many different references and resources here. Let me show you this one. This one might be pretty interesting. So this is a post that they put up about runaway slaves. This is it right here. $20 reward. And we're going to read what it actually says here. $20 reward went off on Sunday the 16th instant. A dark mulatto young man named William called himself William Castle. He was a good and rather lively countenance, is active and well made, 5 feet 5 or 6 inches high, and about 20 years of age or rather more. He took with him a variety of good cloths. His coats were blue. This almost seems like when you think about the slave catchers and you think about, the all points bulletin to hunt a Negro down, just like when you think about the police, right? How they always give a description of them. Oh, well, he has woolly hair and, he's wearing blue pants and, he had on a do-rag. He had on a baseball cap. They describe us to a T. Well, this looks like the same thing. This looks like the same thing. And as I said before, the slave catchers are what you call the police today. It's the same thing, y'all. Matter of fact, Shalom, Bianca. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I know some of y'all know already, but to those who don't know, let me just show you what your modern day police are, just so you can understand the correlation. See this? This right here is a runaway slave patrol. Connect that to a sheriff badge. It's the same thing, y'all. It is the exact same thing. Look at that. South Carolina runaway slave patrol. You see the pagan, the pentagram right there? Same thing. Caution, colored people of Boston. Watch when the police officers bought kidnappers and slave catchers. Wow. How under the dome could I be a person who backs the blue? Understanding what they are. Yahudi Blue says, we know you went over this after the lesson. May you review slavevoyages.org. It seems they made changes. You know what, sis? Slavevoyages.org has been changed a lot. And trying to navigate it is very difficult now. It is very, 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 very difficult to understand because I feel like they move things around so we can't, be able to easily prove who we are because people just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I have to look at that. Okay. So let's go back to this and let's finish reading this. So it says, of good cloths, his coats were blue with a buff cape. He was seen on Fells Point on Wednesday, and it is probable that he intends to make his escape on board of some vessel in company with a man from St. Domingo called George or Zor, formerly in the service of the Reverend Mr. Bend. William being well known in the city, a more particular description is unnecessary. Masters of vessels are cautioned against receiving and carrying him off. The above reward will be given for securing and delivering it to the subscriber and reasonable charges paid by Francis Beeston, December 29th. And this is the actual post for reward. Okay. Wow. What can I say, man? The things that they've shown us, the things that they've put on record is just crazy. They really tell on themselves. Unapologetically Real is in the building. Shalom, sis. All praises to the Most High. So good to see you. All esteem be to Yahweh in the highest. Okay. Let's keep reading. We got a few more of these we're going to look at. I'm going to get to the scriptures. So let's read this. So this is a letter. This letter is from J.W. Bester and summarizes the state of the college and farms and complains about the immorality of the depraved enslaved people owned by the Maryland Jesuits. Yes, the Jesuits were also involved in this. And that's why I'm saying I'm not giving Christianity no pass. Any religion, any pass. Because every single one of these religions has something to do with our enslavement. Is halal not scriptural for praise in Abari? There is a bit of a distinction between halal and halal. Now, if you look up the name Lucifer, you're going to see the word halal, okay? Halal is not the same as halal, okay? The difference is same letters, but there's a yod after the ha, which is halal. And that's what you find when you break down Lucifer in the concordance, in the Obari. So halal is not the same as halal. So it's different. It's definitely different. One letter can make all the difference. All right, so let's look at this. This letter from the Jesuit archives in Rome was written in Latin and has been transcribed and translated for the Georgetown Slavery Archive by Benjamin Driver in consultation with Professor Josiah Osgood. A digital scan of the original is available at the Booth Family Center for Special Collections at Georgetown University. All right, so let's listen to this. Very Reverend Father in Christ. That's crazy that these people really call themselves fathers and all this other goofy stuff. Anyway, I sent my last letter from the office of consultor to your fraternity from Baltimore when I was still performing the office of pastor of the Germans. Then at the beginning of last November, since I was unequal to bearing the load of any longer on account of the loss of my voice and other ailments, I was summoned to the college by the Reverend Superior. I was first established as minister there. Then after a few months, since the Reverend Father Feener, the rector, was sick from an incurable illness of the throat that arose from the weakness of his lung, I was appointed in his place as an acting rector by the Reverend Superior, though I'm hardly well suited. May God spare him. Man, this is a lot to read, so I'm going to just skip ahead. Okay, we'll start here. Our expenses exceed our income, even though that has been needed for food and clothing is obtained with great frugality. For all of us are in the same college and the same table, professed fathers, brothers, scholastics, and novices. Nevertheless, the Reverend Superior recently repaid a debt of $4,500. All right, I'm gonna skip all this. Let's see. I think it's okay. Yeah, this is what I want to read. Everywhere in our missions, the people of both sexes and different ages are being taught with a great zeal of spirit and profit. Everywhere, many have been recently converted from heresy and faithlessness to the truth, faith are counted, amongst whom there are certain ones from the more excellent members of either sex. There is one group entrusted to our care, which by most spurning teaching continues to sink. This group is made up of our slaves, which are so depraved that there is this proverbial saying amongst the locals who wish to point out the worst sort of person. Wow. He is as bad as a priest slave. I think this situation arises especially because of this circumstance. The slaves of others are harshly punished for their sins, negligence, and disobedience. And when they are found incorrigible, they are sold to outsiders, but our slaves, for the most part, corrupt and are corrupted without punishment. Because of this, the idle, the fornicators, the adulterers, the drunks, and the thieves get away with it. They know the priests will not sell them to outsiders. From this arises our poverty and the fruitlessness of our plantations. The reason for this does not escape our neighbors, and now they would not buy our slaves at half price. Often it occurs to me that those slaves who in our sight, under our care, are damned, would perhaps abandon their sins under harsh masters and be saved. Perhaps these ills arose because the teaching, which seems unproductive and not useful, was neglected by many, especially by certain secular priests before the restoration of society, who often added scandal to their negligence, and this was the beginning of trouble. Okay, so apparently the Negroes not going along with whatever type of oppression they're dealing with under the hand of these slave masters, they consider them to be evil, rebellious, wicked, and worthy of lashings. Even though a lot of time it was really about us holding to who we are. Just like when you think about Toby, Kunta Kinte. His name was Kunta Kinte. And he didn't want to embrace the slave name. And why would you? I mean, anytime you name something, that means you own it. And that's why I tell y'all all the time, if you can, change your dang name. Matter of fact, let me put this link in the chat real quick. So I did a blog post about all these Abari names that you can go through at your own leisure. So if you want the most, if you are like Yexer, I'm trying to find a Hebrew name. How do I get started? I'm gonna post it in the chat. So if y'all want to go check out that blog and look at these different Abari names and find one that you like. Now, of course, take it to the Most High. Ask him what, you know what I'm saying, how he should lead you and what name you're gonna go with if you want to abandon these slave names, because you don't belong to these people no more. All right, you belong to Yahuwah. So, you know, screw these English names. So let me just show you this blog real quick, just for people who want information. So look, we have all these Abari names that start with Yahoo. Okay, so Abi Yahoo means Yahuwah is my father. Otter Yahoo means Yahuwah is my light. Akaz Yahoo, Yahuwah holds, possesses. Aki Yahoo, brother of Yahuwah. So you have all these names you can go through right here if you just want an accurate Abari name. And it also tells you how to pronounce it and what it means. Okay? What it means. So you got all these you can go through. You know what I'm saying? And if you want more, just let me know and I'll probably add some more to this list. But I'm going to just post this in the link or post this in the chat. If you guys want to have access to it, that'll be perfect. Yexer, my real name is Abari. You mean Lele? Or do you mean your actual real name? I'm confused. I'm not sure what you're talking about. So this is the link, and you can go here if you want to just kind of have some ideas of Abari names that, you know, you can, if you decide you want to change it. My actual real name, I have to look at it. Is it on your Discord? It should be on Discord. Let me check. I'm not sure if it is, though. I got to double check. Let me see. Yeah, your real name is not on Discord either, so I'm a little confused. Your Facebook. Yeah, you gotta let me know what it is so I can tell you if it is or if it isn't. Deborah Rib of Asa. Shalom, saints new to the page. All praises to the Most High. Shalom to you, sister. Good to see you. All esteem to the Most High, the highest. Okay, I'll check it out later, sis. I was just trying to help you out if I could right here, right now, but you know. All right, family. So I think we looked at enough of these letters. If you guys want to look at these yourself, I'm going to also post a link to these letters in the chat if you just want to, you know what I'm saying, go through them yourself. So let me just post the link. This is the Slavery Archive. And I'm going to read the scriptures, and then our sister, one of our moderators, Yehudi Blue, mentioned the slave voyages and how they, the transatlantic slave records and how they manipulated them. So we're going to look at that in a little bit too. So this is the link if you want to go look at these letters and look at these records yourself. So let's go to the scripts. All right. Now we understand the evils that have been done to us, but we understand why the Most High is going to judge the nation. So we're going to look at the scriptures here. All right. And this is the blog post that I just did. The enemies of Yashar'AL will suffer. And we're going to just read some of these scriptures. All right. About the Most High's vengeance against the nations. Okay. This is Yashar'AL. Scroll in, make it bigger. There we go. This is Yashar'AL, Isaiah 34, 2-3. For the wrath of Yahuwah is upon all nations, and his anger upon the number of them to destroy them, and give them up to slaughter. And their slain shall be cast forth, and their corpses and their ill savor shall come up, and the nations shall be made wet with their blood. Oh my. Oh my, my, my. You know what I'm saying? This is something you're definitely not taught in Christianity. Yexer, my real name is Xavier. Is there any meaning with that at all? No, there wouldn't be. Not in Abari, because Xavier is not a Abari or Hebrew name. So it definitely wouldn't. Is Yexer your real name, and what's the meaning? Yes, Yexer is my actual name, and it means fearless, bold leader, which is crazy because I didn't really know until I came into this understanding. I never really looked into my name or nothing like that. I just it was my name. But as I started to understand Abari and I started to look up, the Hebrew names and the meanings of names and stuff like that, I just happened to look my name up, and I found out that my name literally describes me. You know what I'm saying? Fearless, bold leader. That's what Yexer means. And it's actually a Shemitic name. It's not Abari specifically because, if I were to pronounce it in Abari, it would be Yaxir. Yaxir. Yad, Kaf, Sad, Yad, Rash. Yaxir is how it would be pronounced in Abari. But, yeah, it actually means fearless, bold leader, which is crazy. All praises to the Most High. Yeah, that was crazy because listen, I never looked it up before until I came into this truth. Then when I looked it up, I was blown away because I realized it is, you know what I'm saying? It describes who I am, which is crazy. Like, wow. Now, I don't know how this name was chosen for me when it comes to my parents, but I embrace it 10 times more now. So all praises to the Most High. She's asking, is her real name supposed to be Abari? That's up to you. The thing is with me, like, I keep my name, my real name, you know what I'm saying, as it is. But I did change my middle name and I changed my last name because those are white men's names for sure. And no, I'm not going to tell you what they are because, yeah. But I had to change them because they were clearly a white man's name. If I told you what they were, you would probably be shocked because there's nothing Negro about those names. They came from white men. That's a fact. That I can tell you off top. So I had to get rid of that. Okay, so let me see. So somebody asked me, what does Gloria really mean? I'm assuming that's your name. Okay, let me explain. If you have an English name or a name that is mentioned in English, then it's not truly Abari or Abari. Now, if you have a name like Nathan, that is an Abari name, but it would be Nathan. If you have a name like Jonathan, your name would be Yahunathan. But not every English name translates or has a Abari root to it. You feel what I'm saying? So it just depends. But a lot of the names that we have today that we use are not connected to Abari. Yeah. Is Tav supposed to be Abari? And I found out it's supposed to be Tav. So what they call the Tav is modern Hebrew. It's called the Thou. Okay? The Thou letter makes the TH sound, but the heathens call it the Tav, which doesn't even make sense because why would you call it the Tav when there's not even a V? And that's what I'm saying, that modern Hebrew is garbage. You feel what I'm saying? We're talking about the ancient tongue. The ancient tongue that I use would be the Thou, and that makes the TH sound. Okay, let's go back to the scripts, and I'll get to more of your questions if you guys have questions. Okay, so Yahuwah is upon all nations, and his anger upon the number of them to destroy them and give them to slaughter, and their slain shall be cast forth, and their corpses and their ill savor shall come upon them, and the mountains shall be made wet with their blood. Yashar'AL 63, 3-6. And by the way, we're reading out the Septuagint in case you're wondering. I am full of trodden grapes, blood, and of the nations there is not a man with me. And I trampled them in my fury, and dashed them to pieces as earth, and brought down their blood to the earth. For the day of recompense has come upon them, and the year of the redemption is at hand. And I looked, and there was no helper, and I observed, and none upheld. Therefore my arm delivered them, and my anger drew nigh. And I trampled them, the Gentiles, in my anger, and brought down their blood to the earth. Zephaniah 3, 6-8. I have brought down the proud with destruction. Their corners are destroyed. I will make their ways completely waste, so that none shall go through their cities or come to an end, by reason of no man living or dwelling in them. I said, but do you fear me and receive instruction, that you shall not be cut off from the face of the land for all the vengeance I have brought upon her? Prepare you, rise early, all their produce is spoiled. Therefore wait upon me, says Yahuwah, until the day when I rise up for a witness, because my judgment shall be on the gathering of the nations, to draw to me kings, to pour out on them all my fierce anger. For the whole earth shall be consumed with the fire of my jealousy. Oh my. Oh my. This is definitely not mentioned in Christianity. Wow. Oh my. Let's keep going. Yirmiyahu, or Jeremiah in the Septuagint, is going to be Jeremiah 30, 4-11. And in the KJV, it's going to be 49, 10-17. For I have stripped Esau. I have uncovered their secret places. They shall have no power to hide themselves. They have perished, each by the hand of his brother, my neighbor, and it is impossible for your fatherless one to be left to live. But I shall live, and the windows trust in me. For thus saith Yahuwah, they were not appointed to drink the cup, have drunk it, and thou shalt by no means be cleared. For by myself I have sworn, says Yahuwah, that you shall be in the midst of her an impassable land, and a reproach and a curse in all her cities shall be desert forever. I have heard a report from Yahuwah, and he has sent messengers to the nations, saying, assemble yourselves and come against her, rise you up to war. And I have made these small among the nations, utterly contemptible among men. Your insolence has risen up against you. The fierceness of your heart has burst the holes of the rocks. It has seized upon the strength of a lofty hill. For as an eagle, he set his nest on high. Thence will I bring it down. And Idumea, or Edom, shall be a desert. Everyone that passes by shall hiss at it. Now, what I find interesting is about the destruction of Edom is almost tantamount to how he describes the destruction of Babylon, America. A total desolation, a total desert wilderness, and all the people that pass by Babylon shall also hiss at it. This is you all, or Joel 3, verse 2. I will also gather all the Goyim, the heathens, the Gentiles, and bring them down to the valley of Yehoshaphat. Now, this was actually the name of a king. Shaphat means to judge. So the reason why he's bringing them to the valley of Yehoshaphat is because that that land or that area is named after his purpose, which is to judge the nations. Yehoshaphat means Yahuwah judges. So they will be brought to this valley because he will judge them. I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will judge them there for my people and my heritage, Yashar'AL, who have been dispersed among the Goyim, and these Goyim have divided my land. All right? So when you think about Africa, North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, West Africa, That's all because of the colonizers. Y'all realize all these divisions of different parts of Africa is because of these Europeans, right? Y'all do realize that, right? Ethiopia, like for example, my best friend, shout out to my Aki Wedi, man. He a real one. As I'm digging more into African history, connecting the dots between, you know, the Bible and the land and all of that, I'm coming into a lot greater understanding about certain things. But so my best friend, Wedi, he is from Eritrea, which is East Africa. Okay. He ended up showing me his DNA test just for the heck of it. He is 98% Eritrean and 2% Ethiopian. And when I looked at his results, I was like, this is an example of how different it's been for the Negro versus the Ethiopian or the Eritrean. If I were to go back and look at my DNA tests, I guarantee you there is Edom in there somewhere. Now, again, I am who my father is, right? But when you look at the patriarchal lineage from when our people were brought here, okay, there definitely is some European in there. There has to be. There's no way. I mean, if what the scriptures say is true, if you know what the scriptures lay out is true, then there's no other way. Lele, thank you so much for sharing the Patreon with everybody. Appreciate you, sis. And by the way, to everybody that's on the Patreon, this Planned Parent, I'm not supposed to say that out loud. That documentary I'm working on is going to take a little bit more time. So I'm going to try to have it done probably by next week because there's so much research I have to do on this movie, but it's going to be so in depth because I had to go all the way back to the civil rights era. I had to go all the way back to MLK, Michael Luther, the sellout, the coon, him. Yeah. So it's going to be very, very in depth. So thank you to everybody that joined. Just be patient with me. I'm working on it. I'm going to try to have it hopefully by next week because it's a lot of information. But yeah. But yes, please, if you want to support me, join me on Patreon. We have uncensored content over there. As a matter of fact, I actually did a video the other day and YouTube deleted it and gave me a strike. The one about, do you know what comes next? And we were talking about certain technologies and they removed the video and they gave me a strike. And I appealed it and they ended up taking the strike away and allowing the video to be seen again. And then I said, you know what, I got to just take the video down. So I put it up on Patreon. So everything that has been taken down off of here is a problem with this platform. We will always post them on Patreon. So it's just a way to get exclusive content as well as banned content. And we have other stuff on there that's not on this platform. So just something to think about. So let's go back to this. All right. So we read that. Abadyahu, Obadiah 15. And I actually think this is 2:15. Or no, Obadiah 1:15. My bad. Abadyahu, Obadiah 1:15. For the day of Yahuwah is near upon all Gentiles. As you have done, so shall be done to you. Your recompense shall be returned on your own head. And by the way, the reason why I was mentioning Africa earlier is because Yahuwah said that the Gentiles have divided his land. That's exactly what they've done with Africa. That's exactly what they've done. South Africa, West Africa, that's all because of colonizers. And that was the purpose I was trying to make. Batiyah by Yashar'AL says, I sent an email on melanin in our organs. Okay, I'll check it out, sis. It's just that Yaki Awakens guy. I don't agree with everything he says because some of the stuff he says is just wild, and he never shows proof. It's just, oh, this is this and this is that, and listen. If he is doing videos with a bunch of Hamite Egyptian deities behind him, I'm just not going to take anything he says too seriously. Just because our people speak truth don't mean that they still ain't practicing heathen customs. And there could be, heathen customs incorporated into his belief system. So that's why I'm not interested in what he's talking All right, Zechariah 12, 3-9, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will make Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, a trodden stone to all the nations. Okay, so this prophecy right here in Zechariah, this would have to be when we're back in the land. So this is like around Gog, Magog time. Okay, we're not in the land right now, so this is a prophecy that has not happened yet. Okay, but this is going to happen when we're back in the land, just like Ezekiel 38, Yekazakal 38, and the war of Gog and Magog. So let's read it. So Yahuwah says, it will come to pass in that day that I will make Yerushalayim a trodden stone to all the nations. Everyone that tramples on it shall utterly mock at it, and all the nations of the earth shall be gathered together against it. And this is why I keep telling you, Negroes, you're going to have to go to war for the Most High, because that's coming. And I'm going to show you scripture to prove it. You men are going to have to be ready to go to war, because they're going to come against us when we back in the land. These Europeans, they will try to take our land once we get back there. In that day, says Yahuwah, I will smite every horse with amazement and his rider with madness, but I will open my eyes up on the house of Yahudah, and I will smite all the horses of the nations with blindness, and the captains of thousands of Yahudah shall say in their hearts, we shall find for ourselves the inhabitants of Yerushalayim and Yahuwah Aluah. In that day, I will make the captains of thousands of Yahudah as firebrand among the wood. He gonna make us captains. We're gonna have to go to war for him. Okay? And I'm ready. I'm ready. Whenever the Most High says, yo, you got to go to war against the nations to defend your people, I'm there. I'm there and I'm ready for it. All right? I'm 100% ready. And this is why I keep telling y'all men out here, y'all need to step the heck up, because this scripture right here tells you he is going to make the men of Yahudah as captains, generals in this war on behalf of our people and on behalf of our Alua. Y'all Negroes in y'all mind need to accept you have a purpose as a protector of your people, the nation. That is a black man's duty, if I'm being honest with you, is to be there for your people, protect your people. Look at David. Why do you think he was so well respected, family? He went to war for our people. And, you know, Yahusha, he'll deal with the other nations as well. But the nations that come against Yerushalayim, we have to rise up and destroy. And I'm ready for it. That's what I'm saying. You need to spiritually, mentally, and physically prepare yourself for this time. Because it's written. It's going to happen. Let's keep reading. Thank you, Yummy. Please hit the like button, family. Appreciate you. I don't follow Covenant Awakening no more since someone exposed he's married to an Edomite. Ugh. He married to an Edomite for real? Bro, I like his videos. He be on some of the other channels that I follow. He's married to an Edomite?
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
I had to do it. I've always found it strange. Let me look something up. I'm trying to think if Covenant Awakens is who I think it is. Let me see. Covenant Awakenings. Because I know, I hope if it's who I think it is, I'm not surprised. Let me see. Covenant Awakenings. I'm just trying to see who this is, because if it is who I think it is, I'm not surprised at all. Is this? I'm trying to see here. Give me a second, y'all, because this is kind of a great revelation. Oh, this guy? Okay, I'm not surprised at all. This individual here. Now, the thing about him that this doesn't shock me is because this character from Boondocks is a house Negro. And I find it very interesting that he uses this image of all images you could use, of all Boondocks characters you could use, you're going to use the image of the house Negro. Then it turns out you married to a white woman. Yeah. I am very, very not shocked about this because that says a lot. That says a lot. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He literally has an image of a house Negro in his image. And I understand some people don't, you know what I'm saying, use their images. I get all of that. I understand. But there's many other characters or cartoon characters you can use to represent the Negro, and you got the house Negro. That's no different than somebody having an Uncle Ruckus character on their display picture. Matter of fact, you know what? This is a bit of a side note, but I'm going to just show you what I'm talking about. That character in Boondocks was literally defending the white man. Like, I'm just saying, that's what he was doing. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Slaves. Boondocks. White man. Let me show y'all this little clip here. It's a little funny little clip. I always found it to be funny. So let me show you. I always found this clip to be so funny, y'all. Let me skip over here.
Something about slavery. Now, if you think niggas is worthless and lazy today, oh Lord help me, you should have seen them back in slavery days. Good old Master Colonel and the plantation owners like him provided darkies all over the South with good jobs, food, housing. I'm telling you, slavery was the best thing that ever could happen to Negro kind.
Okay, first of all, none of that is true. And don't trust them new niggas is not a spiritual.
Hush your mouth and learn your history, boy. Slaves sang that and many other joyful songs all day. They danced, did arts and crafts.
Okay, no, this isn't what I want. This is not the video I'm looking for. I think it's this one. Yep, this is it. This is it.
Attention. Catcher Freeman was the greatest black man who ever lived. He was Malcolm X, Nat Turner, and Barack Obama all
fair
rolled
use,
into one.
YouTube.
Okay,
fair
I'm
use.
gonna start this beautiful story from the beginning.
This is fair use. Fair use. Fair use. Educational purposes only, YouTube. I am not an educated Negro that reads books and knows his history. Therefore, please do not take anything I say seriously. Wink, wink. All right, here we go.
Man, from the beginning.
Shut up. It was the plantation of Confederate Colonel George Lynchwater, better known as Massa Colonel.
Probably made him up.
Shut your ass. The slaves were out in the fields singing songs of freedom.
Guys, what are you doing? You know you're not allowed to sing that song. Stop, guys. I'm serious. Massa's on his way.
Tobias, didn't I tell you to tell these niggers to stop singing that damn song?
Stop singing? Oh, no. Tobias told us Massa Connor likes that song. That's a lie. Oh, no, Massa. We feel niggas is too dumb to lie. But you know, Tobias is the lighter shades, and he got that sharp sense of humor.
Oh, no, Master Colonel. You out here telling jokes, Tobias?
Master Colonel, please. I know you mad, but don't tell you out on Poe Tobias. If you beat him, it's like you beating all of us, but with considerably less effort on your part.
Oh, so the only nigga I gotta beat today is Tobias, huh?
Please don't like to see that. That makes us work harder.
Well, shit, fire and save matches. Maybe I'll get the bet on it tonight.
Please, if you hit him and make all of us scared, make us all just want to stay here. We won't do nothing if you keep hitting him, because it's an example of what not to do.
Well, since you love these field niggas so much, you can stay out here and work with them for a few days. And if I hear that song again, I'm cutting both your balls off.
Whoa. Okay, that's actually not the full clip, because there's a part where he's like, well, you get to hang with the real niggas in the field. And he's all like, ain't you sick of the white man? And he's all like, well, why he call it? It's not the white man's fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do all the time. The house Negroes, they always defend these people. I mean, you think about, you know, people like Officer Tatum and the rest of them. You feel what I'm saying? That's what they do. They sit there and they make excuses for these people over and over again. And that is the makings of a house Negro. That's what they do. That's what it is. Let me see if I can find the actual clip. Hold on. But yeah, that's the image that he had. on his profile, which I find to be very, very interesting. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to find it, y'all. I thought it was kind of funny. Okay, is this it? Okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, here we go. This is the video.
That's my song with my lyrics on Apple Music streaming. And I did it with DistroKid.
Robinson Freeman. The Freeman is silent. Now hush up and pay attention. Catcher Freeman was the greatest black man who ever lived. He was...
All right, fast forward.
I'll get to bed early tonight. Real niggas so much you can stay out with your balls off.
Here we go.
You guys are real fucking assholes, you know that? Come on, man, look on the bright side. You get to hang out here in the field with the real niggas. Ain't you sick of the white man?
You know what I'm sick of? You two blaming the white man for everything. The white man this, the white man that. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude.
Man, fuck that white nigga. That's your master. I don't know that nigga.
All I'm saying is, you stop being a victim, you might be able to better your life on your own.
You ain't said nothing? I'ma do that. I better believe it. As soon as Catcher Freeman rides through here with his brigade and cuts that cracker's head clean off, I'm out of here. You ain't never seen no nigga be gone like I'ma be gone. Tell you something. You ain't seen no nigga ride out like me, and I'ma join the gang. I got a letter saying I could join Catcher Freeman brigade and ride out with that nigga.
Damn, you get mail, nigga?
That's your plan? Catcher Freeman, huh? Why not just wait for Santa Claus to take you away on his sled?
Nigga, you don't believe in Catcher Freeman?
Of course I don't. I don't believe in the Easter Bunny either.
I'm telling you, man, Catcher Freeman is real. He go around from plantation to plantation, freeing all the slaves and shit. He like 14 feet tall, got trapezius muscles and biceps. Shit crazy. He ain't just no normal nigga. He's super nigga. He like a black-ass Batman, if you will. He can fly underwater.
But why did he use that character for his image? I don't understand. And you married to a white woman, bro. That's crazy, gang. Oh, Unapologetic Real says, fam, I have to drive home. Sister, thank you so much for joining the live. It's always good to see you, beloved sister, daughter of Zion. Thank you for joining with us. Shout out to you. So I'm a little confused. Zakar Yahoo is in the building. What's up, Ak? That's what I don't understand. Why would you use that image? And then you're married to the other nations. Amar Yah, too. Somebody mentioned her. I stopped watching her, too, because I found out she was a white man. All right? So I'm just not, you know what I'm saying, rocking with that. Wait, he's divorced? Huh. Well, that's statistically highly probable when you with them folks and you walking in this truth. So I don't understand why even get into something that's doomed to fail being an Israelite. I'm just saying. It's doomed to fail. He said it. Okay. They're divorced. Okay. Fair enough. Thank y'all for the clarity. I don't want to bear false witness on the man, but apparently his wife was another nation. And they're no longer together. So I think that is Jesse Lee Peters' cousin. Like, is that actually true, or is that just like a joke? Because I'm learning some things here with y'all on this live, so I'm just trying to make sure my information is accurate. I don't want to be bearing false witness on anybody. You feel me? So that's why I'm asking. But yeah, that's wild, bro. That's wild. Okay, it was a joke. Okay, all right. Just had to be sure. But yeah, those marriages are statistically proven. Not only is it just a transgression against the Most High to be with the other nations, but it is statistically proven that interracial marriage don't last unless you are somebody like Officer Tatum, who refuses to talk about them folks. That's the only way you're going to keep one of them people happy if you're married to them, is not talking about the truth. And me, being the black man that I am, there is no way I'm not going to tell the truth. Matter of fact, let me show y'all this. Officer Tatum. See, he forgets that he is a Negro. Okay? And let me show y'all this. He got really mad with somebody on a live, and the Negro came out of him. You can try to pretend like, you know what I'm saying, it's not something that you have in you and you ain't a Negro, but the bottom line is you still a Negro. All right? So let me show y'all this. This is interesting. All of a sudden, all this Negroes and, you know, the Negroes this, the Negroes that. Well, you proven. I think you probably lost some subscribers when that mask came off. You get a Negro mad enough, oh, the Negro will come out of him. Oh, the hood will come out of him. Oh, it will. Oh, indeed. Take a look.
That's not then why mention it? Because it is irrelevant. It is ironic. It is ironic. No, it's not. It's ironic that all of these cases that we see, people are involved in criminal activity. It's never, he said it's never a case where a person that just am doing nothing is just gunned down. All these people have an extensive criminal history. Why is that important? Do you not think that's strange?
So
just because you had a criminal past doesn't mean that you deserve to lose your life. It's funny because that is relevant in the case that's at play.
You know, here's the thing.
I gotta go.
They're quick to run and grab that talking point of Biden and Hillary Clinton. You know, created the
I'm gone, man.
Bill. They created
you the fakest nigga I ever seen in my life.
They created the crime bill.
I see you in person.
They created the crime bill.
What you said. I'm done, bro. You a fake nigga. I hope everybody see that. I appreciate it. Fake, bro. I'm gonna expose you to everybody. When I see you, nigga, we gonna be. It's gonna be on. I want you to know that. Because you call me on the phone and you saying all this, and then you get on the live stream and you playing this shit. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Is that black on black crime? Is that black on black crime?
You some bitch. I told you. Everybody on your live.
Okay, so this is the Negro right here that got the white man on his shirt, that's selling white Jesus images on his website, that's married to a white woman, defending sour cream supremacy, and the hood comes out when you make a Negro mad while foisting the white man on your shirt. You ain't fooling nobody, bro. You ain't fooling nobody, all right? I think he lost lots of subscribers when they saw that he's really still a Negro. He's still a Negro, man. He may want to deny, and push white supremacist talking points, but at the end of the day, you're still a Negro. All right? Oh, my. Right? Idiot McAfee Jones. Oh, my. Got exposed in that moment, man.
I know you some bitch, and when I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Everybody got your life. I like it. You want to be hood, nigga? You want to be hood? You on the phone talking shit to me, and you call me? You saying you apologize? Yeah, nigga.
I never apologize.
You apologize?
I never
apologize. You didn't apologize. My wife listened to you, nigga.
I never apologize.
Oh, your white wife? Your white wife?
I said was what I said. What I said was
bitch, nigga.
That's what I said.
Yes, sir. Let's wrap this up. All right, I appreciate everybody.
Okay, all right. So, you know, there's that. So when I see Negroes saying these things and, you know, talking down on black people and all of that, you get them mad and the hood will come out of them easily. We all have a little bit of hood in us. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we are. Some of us more than others. Even with me, sometimes I have to check my flesh because the nigga from LA that I've been for a long time can come out very easily. You know, so sometimes I have to really check myself because sometimes that hood will come out, you know, and I do believe that there is going to be a time and a place, according to what we're reading in the scriptures here, where Yahuwah is going to raise up Yahudah, men, for battle. And this only applies to the men, okay? Women don't typically fight in wars. So daughters of Zion, the scriptures we were reading about the generals and the captains would only apply to us men. And that's why I keep telling the men, it's about you. It's about you rising up, fighting on behalf of the Most High, being a warrior for Yahuwah, and fighting for the nation. West Coast. All praises to the Most High. Shout out to our people in Cali. So, yeah, just wanted to show you that. Now, let's go back to these scripts, man. And I'm going to get to the slave voyages thing too, sis. Don't let me forget. Matter of fact, Yahudi Blue, can somebody in the comments, can you type in Can you type in slave voyages database? I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat so I can remember to cover that before we jump off. I just want to make sure I get that. Well, we can't fight the women. Just kidding. No. I mean, you know, it's usually us that would be going and, you know, doing these things. You know, when Dawood appointed an army, it was the men of Yashar'AL. It was the Yahudi men. Obviously, the Gentiles that are grafted in will be also in the land at that time, protected from the other nations that come against the land. But Yahuwah is going to send us, you know, the men, Yahudah. We're going to be the ones that go to war for the Most High. And like I said, I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. Slave voyages. Okay, thanks, sis. Let me just highlight that so I can remember. Okay, cool. Keep that up. All right. So let's go back to these scriptures, finish up these scriptures, and we'll jump into the slave voyages thing. All right. So Yahuwah says, in that day, I will make the captains of thousands of Yahudah as a firebrand among wood, and as a torch of fire and stubble. And they shall devour on the right hand and on the left all the nations round about. And Yerushalayim shall dwell again by herself, even in Yerushalayim. And Yahuwah shall save the tabernacles of Yahuwah as at the beginning, that the boast of the house of David and the pride of the inhabitants of Yerushalayim may not magnify themselves against Yahudah. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahuwah shall defend the inhabitants of Yerushalayim, and the weak one among them in that day shall be as David, and the house of David as the house of Eluah, as the Malach or angel of Yahuwah before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Yerushalayim. He will destroy them. Yashar'AL, Isaiah 59:15-20, and Amath, or truth, has been taken away, and they have turned aside their mind from Binah, understanding. And Yahuwah saw it, and it pleased him not that there was no judgment. And he looked, and there was no man, and he observed, and there was none to help. So he defended them with his arm and established them with his mercy. And he put on Zarakah, righteousness, as a breastplate, and placed the helmet of salvation on his head, and clothed himself with the garment of vengeance and with his cloak. Now, again, if you don't believe Yahuwah is Yahusha, you need to understand to me why the scriptures describe him as a mighty man of war. Okay? It says Yahusha will completely depopulate Edom, depopulate the Gentiles, and there will be blood. His garments will be stained with blood. His sword will be drunk with blood. So if Yahuwah is not Yahusha, then who the heck is he saying when Yahuwah says, I'm a man of war, and he talking about he going to slay Edom, and it says Yahusha going to slay Edom and slay our enemies. Yahuwah is Yahusha. It's just what it is. But let's keep going. 18. As one about to render a recompense, even reproach to his adversaries, so shall they of the west fear the name of Yahuwah, and they that come from the rising of the sun, his glorious name. For the wrath of Yahuwah shall come as a mighty river, it shall come with the fury, and the deliverer shall come for Zion's sake, Yahusha, and shall turn away all unrighteousness from Jacob. Zechariah or Zachariahu 14:1-14. Kana Hayum Shah Yahuwah. Behold, the days of Yahuwah come, and the spoils shall be divided in you. I will gather all the Gentiles to Jerusalem to war. War. And the city shall be taken, and the houses plundered, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity. But the rest of my people shall not be utterly cut off from the city. And Yahuwah shall go forth and fight with those Gentiles as when he fought in the day of war. And his feet shall stand in that day on the Mount of Olives, just as Yahusha did. Why? Because Yahuwah is Yahusha. Now, let me ask y'all something here. When did Yahuwah ever set his feet on the Mount of Olives? When he was Yahusha in the flesh. So just as Yahusha stood on the Mount of Olives and told his people of what was to come in Matthew 24, we can see Yahuwah, who is Yahusha, will stand again on the Mount of Olives. just as it was in times of old. Why? Because Yahuwah is Yahusha, and we are reading the Septuagint, the most accurate version of the Abari Hebrew ancient scriptures of what the Gentiles call the Old Testament. Let's keep reading. Which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the mountain Olives shall cleave asunder, half of it toward the east and the west, a very great division. And half of the mountain shall lean to the north, and half of it to the south. And the valley of my mountain shall be closed up, and the valley of the mountain shall be joined unto Jazad, and shall be blocked up as if it were blocked up in the days of the earthquake, in the day of Ozias, king of Yahudah, and Yahuwah shall come, and all the saints with him. And it shall come to pass in that day that there shall be no light, and there shall not be for one day cold and frost, and that day shall be known to Yahuwah, and it shall not be day nor night, but towards the evening it shall be light. And in that day living water shall come forth out of Jerusalem, half of it toward the former sea, and half of it toward the latter sea. And so shall it be in the summer and spring. And Yahuwah shall be king over all the earth. In that day there shall be one Aluah, and his name one. 10. Compassing all the earth in the wilderness from Gabe unto Ra'aman, south of Jerusalem, and Ramah shall remain in his place from the gate of Banyamin or Benjamin to the place of the first gate, to the gate of the corners, and to the tower of Anama'al, as far as the king's wine presses. They shall dwell in the city, and they shall be no more any curse. That's talking about us. And Jerusalem shall dwell securely. And this shall be the overthrow with which Yahuwah will smite all the nations. As many as have fought against Jerusalem, their flesh shall consume away while they are standing up on their feet, and their eyes shall melt out of their holes. Oh my gosh, the Most High don't play. Let's keep going. And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth, and there shall be in that day great panic from Yahuwah upon them. And they shall lay hold every man the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall be clasped upon the hand of his neighbor. Yahudah also shall fight in Jerusalem, and Aluah shall gather the strength of all the nations round about, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. So not only is the Most High going to destroy these nations, but he is also going to give us everything of value that they've stolen. Tenfold. This is Zechariah 1:14 through 16. And the angel that spoke with me said to me, cry out and say, thus says Yahuwah Aluah, I have been jealous for Jerusalem and Zion with great jealousy. And I am very angry with the heathen that combine to attack her. For much as I indeed was a little angry, but they combined to attack her for evil. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Aluah, I will return to Jerusalem with compassion, and my house shall be rebuilt in her, saith Yahuwah Sabaoth. And a measuring line shall be stretched out over Jerusalem. And then lastly, Thahalim or Psalms. In the Septuagint, it's 136, 8 through 9. And in the KJV, it's 137, 8 through 9. Wretched daughter of Babylon, blessed shall he be who shall reward you as you have rewarded us. Now, I talked about reward. Reward can be good or it can be bad. Okay, you reap what you sow. So if you sow bad seed, your reward is a bad harvest. If you sow good seed, your reward is a good and plentiful harvest. Okay, blessed shall he be who shall seize and dash your infants against the rock. Oh my. And this is why a lot of Christians don't like what we be talking about, because they, we talk about how the Most High is a vengeful Aluah, a wrathful Aluah, an Aluah that fights for his people. So when they talk about destruction and how the Most High say he gonna dash their children against rocks, yeah, it's graphic, but hey, he got a righteous cause for everything he does. So what are these scriptures telling us? Our enemies will suffer. They will suffer for all that they've done. There's no escape. There's no running away. There is only being spared. Okay? And those who are spared are those who walk in truth with us, those who accept Hamashiach, keep his laws, keep his commandments. Those are the three requirements to be grafted in. Cleave to Jacob, accept Hamashiach, keep his laws and commandments. That is how you ensure that you're not part of this. But that's why it says all of them shall dwell safely. So that includes Yashar'AL, as well as the Gentiles who are grafted in, who will not be a part of the destruction he's bringing on the nations. Now, let's look at this. Mel says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. You speak life over you, or you speak death over your life. Speak life, Yashar'AL. I agree. Now, let me go to the slave voyages thing here. I had noticed this when I was attempting to help show our people who are waking up the truth. And I discovered this, y'all, when I went to the website, because it is indeed changed a lot. Shout out to Yaudi Blue. Thank you so much, sister, for bringing this out. It was before where you could easily just type in the name and get the truth, but something has changed. So let me see if I can try to figure this out here. So before, they had it where you could easily just type in the name Yah and see all of the Israelites that were taken into the slave trade. But they have changed so much on this website. I don't even think there's a place where you can actually search. Is there? Let's see. Captive backgrounds, Negroes, other characteristics. Okay. Itinerary. Yeah, they definitely changed this for real, y'all. This is crazy. Try to find the information. Things have changed so much on here. So let me just type Yah and see what comes up under the Negroes. See? It used to be where you could just type in Yah and you would see all the slave names with Yah or Yahoo in the name. But that's changed. Yeah, you can't even like look it up. That's so weird, bro. Timelines, databases, estimates, downloads. Let me see if I can do it through Google. Give me a second. Yeah, they have changed it. And I believe it's because they're trying to hide the truth. Slave names. Slave voyage. People started waking up using this information, and they didn't like that. And so they didn't change things around now. Okay, here we go. So this is the African names database, and I'm going to just put Yah and see what comes up. Hopefully this will bring up something. African origins. Yeah, this is not showing anything. Okay. They definitely have changed it, y'all. And I don't know like how to navigate it now. It's just weird. It's just really, really weird. I mean, you could try to look and find it, but dude, it's just hard to know. Because of what they've done and how they've like changed things around and stuff. Let me see. Let me try something else. Give me a second. Okay. All right. I kind of did it, but not to the extent that I was expecting here, though. Man, why do they change this, dude? It irritates me. Okay. So look, I put Yah in the search. And this is what I got. Let me zoom in. So Oya, and look at Igbo, Oya, okay? Oya, Yoruba, Oya, Afiki or Ibibio. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Salaki. So you got a lot of different people named Oya, and they're either Igbo or Yoruba or this other tribe here. Let's see what else we can find under that name. Just trying to see what we can pull up, because like I said, these heathens have changed so much, bro, to try to cover up their wickedness. Yeah, I don't see anything like definitive here. And I had screenshots and all of that, but they didn't change so much. Look at this one. You got Maya right here, and they're in Mende. Ta. Let me go all the way to the end of the page. Asia. And this is the Arabic slave trade right here. Yeah, they changed so much, bro. There's definitely some intention to like suppress this, because you could easily just type in Ya on the search bar and you could easily find all these people with these names. Let me see if I can pull up something else. Hold on. So let me show you. So all praises to the Most High. A lot of people took screenshots of it before they changed it. So I'm gonna just show you originally what it looked like before and when I show you the image, you're gonna be all like, bro, they really have changed it. And I'm gonna show you how these people all. Okay, here we go. So look, this is Facebook right here. And I'm gonna try to zoom in. If I can't zoom in, I'm gonna just bring it up here on the screen directly. Okay, it looks like I can't. Okay. Let me just save this and I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna show you guys what it says. And I want you guys to look at all these people who have their origin is Igbo or Yoruba. Okay. Again, these are Israelites we're talking about, y'all, that they took into the slave trade. So let me just save this. Just save this Igbo. Okay. So I'm gonna just bring this up on my screen so y'all can see it a little bit better. Okay. So let me just remove this and let me bring it up on the screen so you guys can see it directly, because it's kind of hard to see when you're looking at it from the browser. So let me just pull it up. Give me a second. Okay. All right, let me pull this up, show you guys so you can see. But yeah, I mean, even if you look at it the way that they have it now, you can definitely see it was hidden for a reason. What truth do they not want us to know? And it doesn't really matter what they change, because we got plenty of evidence to prove things, but it just goes to show how much effort they put in to hide this. Okay. So let me pull up this thing here, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen and show y'all what it says. Hopefully it'll show up okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to show you what it says right here on your screen so you can see it. There we go. So look at these names. The first one says Niamoli, 30 years of age, Igbo. Then you have Inya, the second one, 21 years of age, and it says Calabar. Okay. Let's go down to the fourth one that says Yahoo or Yahoo. Igbo, Akia, Igbo, Hanya, Igbo, Hinya, Igbo, Benea, Calabar, Hanya, Igbo, Imya, Igbo. Then you got Kuya, Hagia, Bunya, Karaya, Yaria, Yafi, Daya, Bandaya, Baya, Daya. Bro. No wonder they took this down. This is just too definitive. This is too definitive for their liking. But if you see this, you notice, look how different this looks from the website that I just showed you. This was so much more cut and dry. Say Yah. Okay, I don't say the ALLAH name because that's a pagan name. I don't say that. That's not the Most High's name. The Most High's name is Yahuwah, not ALLAH. Yes, Yahuwah said that I would put my name upon my people. And I'm going to show you that scripture as well. Actually, I'm going to show you a few scriptures about how he said he will put his name upon his people. Just in case people still doubt the true meaning of the name and all of that. Let's look at this. I'm going to jump over here to my blog. Keep in mind, when I originally did this blog, it was not in the Septuagint. So, yeah. But look at this. Bamadabar, Numbers 6:22-27. Yahuwah spoke unto Masha, saying, speak unto Aharon or Aaron and unto his son, saying, on this wise you shall bless the children of Yashar'AL, saying unto them, Barak Yahuwah, you and or Yahuwah Barak you and Shamar you, or Shamarata. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. 26. Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon you and give you shalom. 27. And they shall put my sham, which means name, upon the children of Yashar'AL, and I will barak them. I will bless them. Okay? Yahuwah says that they shall put my name, my sham, upon the children of Yashar'AL, and I will barak them. This is Debar Hayumim, or 2 Chronicles 7:12. And Yahuwah appeared unto Shalamah by night and said unto them, I've heard your prayer, and I've chosen this place for myself for a house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven and there be no more rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people, which are called by my sham, my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my panah, my face, and turn from their ra-darak, their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their transgressions, and I will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open, and for my ears attend unto prayer that is made in this place. For now have I chosen and sanctified this house, that my name or my sham may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually. Okay? So the Most High put his name on his people. So then who are those people that was bought in the slave trade? His people. Period. I'm going to try to see if I can find some other ones. Some other screenshots people took. I mean, I think that's like probably the most extensive version of it, but I know that there's other ones out here too. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so these are basically just screenshots of the same thing. Yeah. And you can even see the records they have of how much they paid for the slaves and all of this stuff. It's wild, bro. It's wild. Let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, yeah. Wow. Look at this. And this is why restitution is a must. Negroes bought in the year of 1854. So you have one Negro girl, $435 was paid for her. Charlotte, $400 paid for her. A woman and her child, $350. Jim, $261. Martha, $355. Lucy, $575. I mean, they have all these records, bro. They don't hide this. Negroes bought 1844. So total out of all these Negroes in 1844 that this white man bought, he made a total of $9,740 total. Oh my gosh. Yeah, $830 was paid for this woman. She's obviously a Yahudi Negro woman. They paid $830 for her. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of times, for obvious reasons, they usually paid more for the women than they did the men. And y'all know why. Y'all know exactly why. They felt like the black woman had more value to them because for their own perversion, but also because they could use her to help create breeding farms and make more slaves. So, yeah. More Negroes bought. $600 for this child. Wow. And even when you look at the slave trade database, you can see how young some of these children were that were taken into it. We'll go back to that in a minute. $650 paid for this woman and her child. Oh, my. All this evidence, bro. I'm not going to stop talking about this. Sorry. Not until recompense is paid out. Because we know it's coming. All these records, bro. Wow. So for this purchase, $8,433 was made for all these Negroes here in 1849. Wow. Wild. All right, let's go back to that image that we just looked at. So it also mentions the age of these Negroes brought into this. So if you go to the very bottom, the last two at the very bottom, you have one that says Bai Ya, 7 years old, brought into this. That was the youngest one that we could see on display here. But you had 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and there's even, this is just one of the screenshots that people took. But it shows some of them also as like 4 years old, 3 years old. I mean, obviously you had pregnant women. Boy, unbelievable. Yeah. So ultimately, man, I just think it's important to understand that there will be recompense. There will be things that the Most High will bring on these nations that they won't see coming. Because remember, this is a Pyrrhic victory. Okay? Meaning they won the battle, but they didn't win the war. The Most High always wins. So that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate you guys. All praises to the Most High. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I just wanted to bring this out just to remind you there is a judgment coming to the nation. So let them boast, let them do what they want to do. But quickly and succinctly, the Most High, the wrath of the Most High will fall upon them tremendously. They won't even see it coming because they're going to be too stuck and distracted by their pride. And when it starts, there is no stopping it. Yahuwah shall accomplish all the things of his heart. All the things of his heart shall be accomplished on behalf of Yashar'AL. And with that being said, shalom.
Truth is being revealed to those who seek it, and I am truly blessed to be a part of that awakening. I realize that this world is just one big stage, and most people are just dancing to Satan's tunes. Take a look at Mount Rushmore. They were all slave owners. Remember Song of Solomon, I am black but comely. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. The evidence is overwhelming, brothers and sisters. Do some research. If you've been blessed with eyes to see, you'll realize that the white Jesus is actually Caesar Borgia, the illegitimate son of Pope Alexander VI. And the clock is ticking. Babylon is gonna fall.
Hey, Yashar'AL.
Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise, and the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise, and the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise, and And the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies. And which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise. And the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Hey, Babylon go burn with that Confederate flag. LGBT white supremacy and in bed with no and I'll burn and I'll spit on the American flag. White Jesus is false, so how the arrogant brag. I ain't voting for a Trump, I ain't voting for Biden. And the one who I abide in is the Lion of Zion. And you do what they say mindlessly like they Simon. And the heathens gon' rage cause they really just fighting. And the nations shall envy, can't do nothing against you. And we know that you Esau when you say it offends you. And no wonder you so wicked, got a lineage of evil. White pride means nothing, I can see through your ego. And your Uwa said the nations are nothing but spittle. And we are the chosen people, we will never be equal. And the pride of Esau exalts himself as the eagle. What's coming to Esau and the heathens, yo, it sure won't be peaceful. It is Esau who dwells in the clefts of the rock. And the rise of Yashar'AL, you never can stop. This is for my ancestors who you hung from trees. This for the black blood spilled by the hands of police. This for the black women that you violated with pride. This for every single sin you tried to hide and denied. This is for your white Jesus, it produced self-hate. This for the unpaid wages and all that you take. It's for the Rev 2-9s and our identity stolen. We know the truth about you, you really eating my Romans. Yeah. Really eating my Romans. We know the truth about you, you really eating my Romans. Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies. And which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise. And the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies. And which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise. And the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies. And which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise. And the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies. And which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise. And the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Yeah.
The Most High he is done. Okay? He is done with what has been going on. The 400-year is up. The curse is up. Sorry, my kid just sneezed. The 400-year curse is up. Okay? God's people, the Most High has chosen the Hebrews, the blacks in America. Okay? We're about to see some power. Come on, y'all. You got to get out of this lie. Okay? You got to get out of this lie. You have got to come out of this lie. This white Jesus that you are worshiping is going to take you to hell. Please wake up. Oh, in the name of Yahushua, wake up. Oh, I feel the Holy Ghost. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yahushua is an alpha, strong, black man. He is a Negro. He is a Hebrew. I don't know what word you need to hear to understand who they are, but it is not me. I am not a chosen. You can get mad. It doesn't matter. This is how the Most High has done it. I am a Gentile, and I know my place. But I'm called to tell all of these Gentile whites that I know that you are in the deepest deception that you have ever been in. And you've been in it your whole life. And the awakening is happening now. People are waking up.
For centuries, we have been lied to by our forefathers and religious teachers. The white JC was created by the Vatican, and he was not the true Messiah of the Bible. Our Messiah, Yahushua, was a melanated man, and the Most High Yahuwah's true chosen people are the melanated people. Won't learn that in any tax-exempt church. And I praise Yahuwah every day for leading me down the correct path. All praise to the Most High.
Hey, Yashar'AL.